Well, hi, everybody, and good day to you all, brothers and sisters. It's Mike Rogers once again with another Refuge Daily on this Thankful Thursday. And thanks for tuning in, and I hope I have a couple of words of encouragement and some scripture for you that might bless your day. Today, I'm going to talk about what we see oftentimes in Scripture is encouragement and direction to not lose heart. You know, that word, or that phrase, I should say, of not losing heart, meaning not giving up. You know, sometimes we just feel like, we've had enough. And sometimes we feel like there's no point in going on any further. But I see so oftentimes there's encouragement in Scripture not to give up. And I know that oftentimes I have come to a point where I just said, well, whatever it is I'm doing, it could be very good things. And sometimes I just feel kind of weary about not getting it done the way that I wanted to do it, or putting too much pressure on myself. And perhaps that happens to you as well. And it could be some very large, important things, and sometimes it could be fairly insignificant little things. But in any case, sometimes you just feel like maybe you're losing your heart, and your heart's not in it any longer. And so I just want to encourage you when it comes to those things that you're perhaps doing, that particularly for good, as the Bible talks about, when we're doing things for good, when we're doing things for the kingdom, when we're serving the Lord. Sometimes we can get so busy with it, but at the same time, we can be discouraged if things just don't go the way that we planned them, or maybe we're just getting tired and don't see the fruit, and yet our Father up in heaven is being pleased by what we're doing to serve Him and His people. So I want to share with you a couple of scriptures about losing heart. Paul talks about it often. And even Jesus did some encouragement on this as well. But in 2 Corinthians, Paul in chapter 4, verse 16 says, "So we do not lose heart. Though our outer self is wasting away, our inner self is being renewed day by day." And so we can look forward to that renewal. We need that rest and renewal, and certainly the Lord is continuing to give us a recharge, so to speak. And in Galatians, he says in chapter 6, he's talking about sowing in the Spirit, just in the verses previous to verse 9, and he says, "And let us not grow weary while doing good, for in due season we shall reap if we do not lose heart." Basically saying not to give up. I mean, that happens to probably all of us at some point, where we just feel like, I just need to, I need to put this aside and perhaps give up on it. But yet He wants to encourage us, and God encourages us in many ways. Another scripture in 2 Thessalonians, Paul writes in chapter 3, he says, "But as for you, brethren, do not grow weary in doing good." So there's times when I think we all can say that even though we were serving the Lord and doing it with the right heart, that perhaps we start to lose heart. And I'm hoping to encourage you, if there's something going on right now where you're thinking, well, I'm not really being very effective in this area, or maybe you just feel like it's just, there's just no point in going on in it, but cry out to the Lord, ask Him to give you wisdom on that. In John's Gospel, Jesus said that, "Peace I leave with you, my peace I give to you. Not as the world gives, do I give to you. Let not your hearts be troubled, neither let them be afraid." And so he's oftentimes looking to encourage us to carry on, to keep going. I wanted to share with you a story that something that happened to me recently, where a couple of weeks ago, someone reached out to me who I had spoken to months earlier, and was considering putting together a ministry, a Bible study, and wanted some help and some pointers with it. And so trying to connect with this person, we did it through email, and she had a specific schedule she had to keep, and so there was only certain times that she was available, and I had some things as well that I was doing. So trying to get our schedules together was not an easy task. And I remember sending her an email because I was busy doing some what I considered to be good things. They were things in ministry, and yet I was getting busy. And I just sent her a quick email saying that my week was a little bit crazy, but I do plan to get back to you as soon as possible. And then I got an email back from her, and it took me back a little bit, but I have to say it was also something very encouraging. And in that email, she had said that something had changed in her life as well that had just happened, and it was actually in her mother's life, where her mother was diagnosed with cancer. And it was one of those things that you just, when you're reading it, your heart breaks, and how devastating it is. And there were some details on what type of cancer it might be, and so. But yet, here was the thing. She was dealing with something that was a really extra heavy load on her. And even though in my mind, I'm thinking to myself, I sent this crazy little email about how crazy my week was, and my week wasn't anywhere near what she's having to deal with. And yet, her encouragement was that she still plans to go through with her plans. She wants to continue on to do what God has called her to do in the ministry. And so that was encouraging to me. That was something that was just incredible. And that is the way that the family of God works together. We encourage each other. We go through difficulties and hard times together. And yet, how important it is that we recognize that that God has a plan, and if we don't grow weary, that we'll reap the harvest. He has that plan for us, and the beauty of all of that. So anyway, I hope that has some encouragement to you if you're going through anything similar like that. And I want to give you a little song. I love the fact that we're so pro-family at Refuge, and the Refuge family is certainly tight-knit in many, many ways. It was interesting. I was looking at my ukulele here, and it says Ohana, and the meaning of Ohana in Hawaiian is actually family. And so I thought that was appropriate for today's Refuge Daily, and to try to bring it all back into thankfulness. I want to sing this song called "This Is the Day." This is the day that the Lord has made, the Lord has made. We will rejoice and be glad in it, and be glad in it. This is the day that the Lord has made. We will rejoice and be glad in it. This is the day that the Lord has made. Well, I hope you have a blessed day, and do not lose heart. Remember, there's lots of scripture there to encourage us. Look into the Word, and God bless you. Michael Rogers signing out.